schools and teaching schools, sharing tools and breaking rules. Who's get it? They say it's me, breaking it down for all to see. Keep it simple, keep it clear. The status quo is all I fear.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Who's Your Danny Show, episode number 3. This week could get interesting. We're going to talk about dealer kids, or PhDs. Papa has a dealership. I have several people in my 20 group, whereas the father is trying to bring the son up in the business, or the father is trying to bring the daughter up in the business. I wanted to find out some of the challenges that created for the dealers and their kids, and we all know it can present some problems for us, the employees. But you know what? I can only speak for myself. When I see them coming up the right way, being taught the business the right way, it's encouraging. It's kind of fun, and you'll see some of the perspectives they had. Watch this. Hey, Danny Benitez here. I'm here with some more generational dealers. We got Brad and Rob here. Brad, how's it going?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for doing this.
Good. Well, hey, I'm glad to do it, and I understand there's going to be some free drinks later, so that's the main reason I'm doing it. They're part of my 20 group, but we really want to talk about generational dealers. You guys work together, father and son. Rob, tell me where your dealership is.
We are located in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Just a small little town right by North Dakota.
Okay, so it's nice and warm there.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. Okay, well, good. All right, I'm going to start with Brad. Brad, you guys work together quite a bit on a day-to-day basis, would you say?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, we're there every day.
Okay, except for your vacation time, because I know you spend a lot of time away from the store.
Don't get much of that, but yeah, okay.
I'm going to get your opinion, though, Rob. Is that true? Does he spend a lot of time away?
He's there a lot, and we like it actually when he's away, though.
Right.
It's better when he's away.
Perfect. Okay, what are the challenges of working with your dad? First of all, what are all the names that you've heard called you as the kid of the dealer?
Like from other people or from him?
Other people.
Silver Spoon, PhD.
Stands for Papa has dealership.
Yep. I don't know. I've heard them all, but...
Does it present some challenges? Let's first talk about the employees. Does it present challenges with employees? Do you feel like they're looking at you in a different way?
For me, it actually didn't, because he started me out at the bottom, cleaning cars.
Really?
And worked my way up. I wasn't just thrown into a position, so...
How was that 2 weeks?
Best 2 weeks of my life. I kind of want to go back.
I'm kidding. No, that's cool. And I knew that ahead of time, but I wanted you to tell the people that are watching. And so you start off cleaning cars, and then tell me kind of how that progressed quickly.
Then I just started working. I actually started selling cars, did a little bit in the parts department, and then currently I'm a used car buying and sales manager.
Awesome. Great. Okay, so what... He's not listening. So what do you think he doesn't anyway? What are some of the challenges? Do you think he's maybe tougher on you, or kind of how's his view towards you being there? Is he tough on you or what?
There's no doubt about it. He holds me to the highest standard.
Right. When you say no doubt about it, I'm from Texas. What's that mean?
I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, you mean no doubt about it?
Okay. No doubt about it.
Okay, so he does. He's hard on you.
Yep.
In what way?
He's just making me learn the business. I mean, he doesn't want me to fail, and he, took his experiences where he maybe learned the hard way,
right,
and making sure I don't make the same mistakes. So, the standards are way up there, and of course, it's a business. Business is business.
Right. All right. Is this a bunch of crap, or is that really the truth?
No, it's probably the truth. It is. It's exactly right. The biggest challenges that we've run into is that you don't want your son to fail. You want them to do a better job than you did. Probably the biggest fault that we have is that we think that because they've been around it, that they should know it all, but so we probably don't train as hard as we should with them. We just expect that they should be able to do it and know it. So sometimes you got to step back and slow down and just say, okay, yeah, let's go through this, because it's not just because, he grew up. I've been in the car business all of his life and the majority of my life. and you just think that, okay, yeah, he's been around it, he knows it, but it's not true. You know, again, it's going back, and we do hold them to a higher standard. It's probably not right, but we're tougher on them because I've always said that, you know what, you got a target on your back because who your dad is, so you need to work harder, put in more hours than anybody else. And that's why you get your stripes.
So the standards are higher, but you know, I'll tell you something else that's cool. Is coming to these 20 group meetings, and our 20 group in particular is kind of special in that we have a lot of generational dealers. And so I want you to know, from my standpoint, it's encouraging to look around and see, you know, you guys coming up together, having fun together, learning together. But I want to emphasize what you said is that as the dealer and having your kid there, you expect him to know more than he really does, but he's got to go through the training and get his lumps just like anybody else.
That's exactly right. That's what it is. And what's really fun about the 20 group thing is to watch when you know, they come in and it's a pretty intimidating environment. Right. You have a lot of egos in the room, and you know, a lot of people that want to give their opinion, and then all of a sudden, as you're watching these meetings go on, you know, for the first meeting, second, third, fourth, all of a sudden they're starting to voice their opinion a little bit. They're getting interactive a little bit more, and that's what's fun to watch because they are the future. And
Whitney Houston said that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? The best thing about it is that they can take the dealerships to the next level because they're very open-minded, where we're probably set in our ways a little bit, especially when it comes to technology.
Can you, man, that's awesome. Do you know the Whitney Houston song, The Greatest Love of All? We believe that children are our future.
Yep.
Could you sing that?
No, because that would just wreck this whole deal that's going on. Not that it's any good right now, but
It was super serious up to that point,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Okay, and let me ask you a question. Do you guys agree that the wavy tube guy is really the secret to high traffic at your dealership?
Of course, who doesn't like the blowy guy? That's what we call him, the blowy guy.
Well, it's kind of becoming a custom on my show. Before we go to the next segment, would you guys help me imitate the wavy tube guy real quick?
Oh, boy, I'm not very good at that. I don't know.
You've seen it. All right.
You should show
1, 2, 3.
We're good.
Hey, back over here. Okay, I'm really gonna bust it now. Watch this. Okay, we're back here on the Who's Your Danny show. I'm still at the 20 group, and we're still talking about generational relationships in the car business. Fathers that own dealerships and either sons or daughters that are coming along and learning the business. And first, I'd like to introduce you to Harry. Harry, tell us a little bit about your dealership, kind of the history, and introduce us to your son, and let's just go that way.
All right, Danny. Well, name's Harry Brooks. Started out selling cars about 43 years ago, and was able to work my way all the way up to I could go in debt all by myself about 13 years ago, and bought a Chevrolet store and moved from the city to a more rural country, comfortable environment. And my son joined us. He's worked off and on through high school and college, and he joined us full time about 5 years ago. And you know, it's been a challenge being able to expose him to the different facets of the business, and but it's been a pleasure to see him grow as a person and as a leader.
All right, and so what were the challenges? What was like in your head? You're going, okay, I'm bringing my son in here. I want to make sure that the employees take this the right way. What was kind of your thought process when you started in here?
Well, I think it was the challenges, several challenges. One of the challenges he had is coming along as a dealer son was to earn the respect and the of the other employees. And, you know, he did that. He's got involved. I mean, he started out, he's been a technician. He's been you know, he's done this and that. And you know, then he really conquered and learned a lot being the internet and digital manager for us for several years. And, you know, that's a challenge. It's also a challenge to somebody that started out, and I've been blessed that I've been in every job. It's a challenge and it's a frustration when people don't know what they don't know. And you know, being he's a millennial, and you know, most of the time they got all the answers.
Yeah. That's right. And we're starting to get some of the real story now. So now enough of that political stuff. Is he harder on you than he is everybody else?
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
slightly.
So you think you're held maybe a little different standard, which is probably okay, because nobody wants to think that, oh, here comes the PhD, Papa has dealership, or here comes the dealer kid, and he's not going to have to earn his way. I mean, he doesn't want that, but you don't want that either. You don't want this some kind of built-in respect. You want to earn it, right?
That's correct. And you're right. He brought me on board, and you know, I've worked at the bottom and in the middle, and learned a lot in the internet department. And now I've kind of backed off, and I'm helping him with the big picture things. And it can be a challenge when all the good ideas are his and all the bad ones are yours.
That's a benefit to having your kid in there, somebody to blame all your screw-ups on, right?
Right. And you know, your name's on the front of the building, so there can be confusion on who owns what and who has say-so. So
You ever use your leverage there and like, hey, all right, we've kind of gone back and forth, but maybe you've noticed my last name?
yeah, every so often, you know, I'll do that.
Yeah, it's Brooks. See, does that sound familiar, right? It's Brooks on the name.
Team.
That's right. We are a team. So what are some challenges in mindset? I mean, you're obviously younger, and you said you worked kind of in the digital area. He's been in the car business a long time, came from more traditional deal. Has there been kind of some friction there where you guys had different ideas?
Well, I think that, you know, the business it changes every year, and it's changed since I began in it, and so it's a challenge to try to keep up and learn at the same time. You know, 2012 was my first year as the internet manager, and that was really when all the changes were occurring in the digital world. So, you know, trying to gauge the changes and keep up, and as well as learn the business at the same time has been a challenge for me.
Right. Well, it's a balance, and really, and you'll learn this as you keep going. I'm a 30-year guy, and it is balance because you get inundated with some new technologies, but you can lean on your dad here that has some of those values and some of those things that he's seen long-term, you know, that's worked throughout the years. So it's a balance, and it's a give and take. It's a relationship, whether it be father-son or somebody who's been in business a long time and somebody that's relatively fresh. It just so happens you're related, but I think that's kind of a lesson we learned, that it's about balance.
Oh.
All right, this is Danny. I'm back here. We're at the bar at our 20 group meeting. I got Dave and Tracy here with me, and we're talking about generational dealers and dealers that are working with their family, and kind of the fun part of that and the stuff that maybe not so fun. But Dave, first of all, tell us about your dealership.
Well, he's got a small dealership, been in business since 1960, and our dad ran it till 1982. I became the dealer there in, 1982. So it's been a great experience. It's been different throughout the years, and with a lot more family in it, it's more challenging, actually.
That's a nice way of saying it's a pain in the ass. No, he has a lot of family in there, and Tracy is his daughter. And Tracy, you're doing mainly digital stuff, internet stuff?
Yes, correct, BDC.
Okay, so you're running the BDC, and Dave's like one of the nicest guys. He's got to be pretty easy to work with, right?
Oh, of course. When he's there, yeah, he's great.
Oh, when he's there.
Too easy. I got to get mean.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, Dave sometimes works via Florida, right? You have a place in Florida in
Naples, Florida.
Naples. Oh,
Yep.
yes, we went by there. Fun place, and he loves to travel, and he actually takes care of kind of all of our travel stuff, and he knows all the great places to go. So, so you guys how long have you been there, Tracy?
2 years, if you don't include the time when I was young.
Okay, so what kind of grunt work did you do when you were younger?
Well, I started off as a receptionist throughout high school, and then in college I was a porter for 4 years, and that has to go down as one of my all-time favorite jobs.
Sweet.
Let me say something about that if I could. I always wanted my girls not to be slackers, okay, because I've seen some other people slack a little bit. So they were out washing cars, and that was their job, to keep the lot clean,
Right.
her sister and her. And I'd go out there and I'd show them, I'd bend over, I'd look at the tires, look down low, and I'd say, girls, you missed a spot. And they did a great job. One day, because I had some other family members from the other side of the family, they'd come in, get their check at 16 years old for $4.50 a week,
Right.
and not do anything, wash their car on Saturday and leave. So, point being, the girls came in my office on one hot day, her sister and her, and it was 90 degrees out, and then they said, Dad, we want to have a water in your office. Do you care if we sit down? I said, only if you checked out. And I said that so somebody walking by would hear it. I don't know, they never get it,
Right.
though. But the daughters were upset at me, but I was trying to make a statement.
That's a story I do say over and over to people I meet, because it didn't just happen that one time. He said it every time we stopped and talked. Did you punch out first? And it really was great as far as teaching us work ethic, and it's something that still has been ingrained in my mind and my sister's mind, and has helped us be good workers now.
Just one other quick story. The third daughter was a non-worker, a beautiful girl, but she hated work. So I had a really hard time getting her to come to work. So one day she screwed up at home. I said, Stephanie, you're going to have to come to work. So we had a used car manager who did not know my daughter Stephanie, and he asked her to move this car and get in it. She was just 16, and she didn't know what a Ford was. So anyway, he said, you're fired. And she went home so happy.
I bet she didn't get off the hook, right?
No, she did. She's very fortunate. She got her teaching degree and married a great guy, and has a great family. So everything turned out fine.
Well, that's good. Well, I'll tell you that it's encouraging to see that the keys just aren't given over, to the relatives. They have to come in and earn it. I mean, for a porter for 4 years, I was a porter for about 4 weeks. Then I got fired. I had to come back, go to a different dealership. So you did much better than me. You're a better porter than me. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It's encouraging to see this next generation of people coming up through, and it's even more encouraging to see that they're having to work their way through it. And even if they get called PhDs, Papa has dealership, or what are some of the other...
a dealer brat.
Dealer brat, okay. Well, we're going to go now with Dave and dealer brat Tracy, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
This thing right here is for the IS-20G. And this thing right here is by my man Danny B. What they call you?
Who's your Danny? They say it's me. Been doing cars since '83. I'm busting fools and teaching schools, sharing tools and breaking rules. Who's your Danny? They say it's me. Breaking it down for all to see. Keep it simple, keep it clear. status quo is all